Hi guys, Dragnath and Houserain here. Today we're doing a bit of a sideboard tech profile for the current meta because we have a regionals coming up here in Melbourne that we want to talk about why we've chosen the cards as said, minus this one card here which is secret tech that we're not going to go into.
And it's like secret tech, but also undecided. It could change between now and the upcoming regionals.
So we thought we'd go over a few things. Also, at the end, I'm going to tell you guys about this mat that you see underneath, which is a handmade mat. And I'll have to zoom out to show it all to you. But for now, so what have we got here? These cards are mainly for general matchups or less likely matchups, with the exception of Fairy Wind, which is kind of for Cliff Orts.
Yeah, but it also hits like any other rogue deck.
Yang Zings is good against.
Yeah, like the biggest issue for a lot of the decks that we've been testing to go to regionals with is Skill Drain. Skill Drain hits a lot of decks outside of Cliff Orts and Yang Zings, so Fairy Wind is a very strong side option.
Yeah. Also stops, it does work very well against Cliff Orts, it also stops anyone that's still running Bandit's Emptiness.
Yeah.
Which isn't as run as much anymore, which is funny.
Because we're moving away from control meta.
Yeah. And now we're just burst down, like, just burst your opponent down. Which is funny because Gauze is coming back too.
Yeah, I've seen him.
Secret tech.
Yeah, Gauze secret tech. Not, no. Maybe, no.
Could be. Maybe we're double bluffing. Anyway, so we've kind of set it out as in the ones down here are just a general. This is the main Shadow tech. We'll go on a bit later what other cards we didn't want to put in and why.
Also works against Dark Law.
Does work against Dark Law. Dark Law is now out. Dark Law is playable, and I'm sure as hell going to see a fair few of them during that time.
It's also a pain in the ass.
Yes. Twister is there for mainly only Cliff Orts.
And once again, any other deck that runs Skill Drain or Vanities that tries to interrupt your plays.
Yeah, it's just some more MSTs, but they
MST.
cost a little bit more. They cost a bit of life points. And Kaiser Colosseum is an interesting tech because against BAs, your opponent won't be able to, on their first turn, if you get this up and they don't have MST or something to get rid of it, they won't be able to go Special Summon, Special Summon, Special Summon, Special Summon, or even Tour Guide Special Summon if you only have one monster out and they haven't Darkhold it all.
Which would be the effective way to play the effective way to play Kaiser Colosseum. You make one guy that you can sit on, like maybe a Dante, a Virgil. If you're playing Cliff Orts and you wanted to run them somehow, like against BAs, you could sit on any normal summon monster with a sacrifice and your opponent can't really get over that.
Yeah. Or sit on something that can't be destroyed or targeted at all.
Yeah. Or
just make it really hard for your opponent to get past it.
If you're playing Shadows, you can put out a Construct and then sit on Construct with a Colosseum and then go off next turn when your opponent can't make any additional plays.
I mean, for opponent to get past that, if they can't pop it with Dragon, well, basically they'd have to send Dragon, which probably slows them down a bit as well.
It just, like, any card that can get rid of Kaiser Colosseum, but, like, it depends on the deck you're playing and the deck you're playing against. All decks we've just named have one way they can sit on it and stun your opponent.
Yeah. But it honestly, it works the best against BAs, where they can't, their little monsters can't ramp past, they need to go on the XYZs, and you're just stopping them from doing that entirely by having, one or two monsters they can't really go past.
Well, if you have two, they can always get past it because they can double summon, or like they'd probably go into Virgil first and get rid of it and then go off, probably.
But the thing is that Burning Abyss really want to go into Dante and then another Dante to get through their deck and get their plays going. To go into Virgil is kind of slowing down that flow of their deck because they want to mill and they want to get the Sir and the Graph off.
Yeah, but in an ideal hand, you could probably go Virgil first to get rid of the Kaiser and then go off with a Dante. Because let's just say, like, you special out of Rubik, your normal a Graph, you make it, you bring out another guy. Well, you probably wouldn't be able to because there's
There is one problem though. There is Farfa as well. Farfa is good for your opponent if they can, get rid of your monsters and stuff. And
so like there's a lot of
Darkhold.
There's a lot of I guess you could say
text and
not so much text, just factors you have to consider when running
Kaiser
like
Colosseum.
not yeah,
You-
just
you-
like an
you really have
like
to-
an oddball tech like Kaiser.
You really have to be able to protect that those one or two monsters you have out for
Yeah.
that to work. But if you can do that, you will really hurt Burning Beast. And the last card we have in the center, because it works against almost everything, different Dimension Ground, DD Ground. Works against Shadows. They play Shadow Fusion, you chain DD Ground. The monsters they send to the grave get banished instead.
So instead of sending optimal cards, they'll just send suboptimal cards, but at the same time they don't get their effects off.
They don't.
Which helps, which slows them down, and like they go into a construct, they can't do anything because the thing
They'll
is
be
that-
able to attack you and stuff, but
yeah, like
you've probably done enough damage to them that they're not going to get too far.
Yeah, like the thing that makes Shadows really good is their ability to maintain resources without depleting their hand. If you can deplete their resources in their hand or outside of their hand, i.e. banishing them with different Dimension Ground when they go to Shadow Fusion,
And also
they don't
stop
get
their resources, how their
Floating.
resources works, and
and
floating.
they float. They float from the graveyard, so that helps stun them. Then you've got BA.
It also stops them getting bloody dad against your first turn if you flip that.
Yeah. So
Because first turn dad it's a shitter.
yeah, like OTK you with Dad Construct and
I've had it happen to me.
what's his face? BLS.
Yes, yeah.
It's happened.
Getting dad sacked, just not fun. Also, a lot of decks, like, they play Mathematician, you chain DD Ground, they can send whatever the hell they want after, but
it's
you're
like it's a 1-for-1 that
slowing-
slowed them down.
like, not only that, when DD Ground, I'm not sure if Mathematician is destroyed by battle or destroyed by battle and sent to the grave, but if it's destroyed by battle and sent to the grave, because I usually
They
just
wouldn't get the draw off.
kill with effect. They won't get the draw off because it'll be banished, so you'll even stop that even more. That'll be really painful. They bring out Dante, you chain it to the summon of Dante, especially if their Dante's in attack. If they then choose to activate Dante's effect, because you can't chain Dante's effect because you'll get the boost, because it mills as cost. If you chain it Dante's summon and Dante's in attack, they have the option of detaching their monster, which as an XYZ material being sent to the grave, it is still a monster being sent to the grave. Pendulum monsters being sent to the grave will not get banished. But
because game mechanic.
if they're in the pendulum zone,
yeah.
but if a pendulum monster as a monster is supposed to go to the extra deck, it will get banished. But back to where I was with
BAs and Dante.
BAs and Dante. If you activate DD Ground on Dante's summon, and they try to use Dante's effect, the XYZ material they detach will get banished, and any monsters they mill will also get banished, and
Dante won't get an attack boost because the monsters weren't sent to the grave.
it'll get an attack boost for spells and traps sent to the grave, but in saying that, Burning Abyss is running, what, like 10 spells and traps, and if they lose those spells and traps, it's pretty painful for them anyway.
Yeah. So, all of these cards are cards that help stun the big three and any other rogue deck.
Yeah.
Like, it's not so much, you don't want to get rid of your opponent's problems, you want to stop them before they can do those.
And especially with the meta speeding up, DD Ground does that so well. It just says, it's kind of like Maxi, it just says, you can try go off this turn, but you're going to lose a lot more than you're going to gain.
Yeah, or in the term of Maxi, I'm going to gain a lot more than you're going to gain.
Yeah. Like, it's just a big cock block. And the last thing's Imperial Iron Wall. Infernoids are being played, guys.
It's inevitable.
Necros are going to be played soon, not yet.
Because they're not out yet.
They're not out yet.
Gungnir.
Except for Gungnir, but you don't play Gungnir.
You
Might
can't
play
even,
it one.
you can't
Can't use it, and you
can't
only played
use
it one. There's other rogue decks like the Banish still. Some Burning Abyss players still like to play Karma Cut. That'll save your butt in a lot of occasions.
Some notable cards we...
So we got some more notable sideboard cards, which we'll go over in just 1 second once I get all these cleaned up, and we'll explain to you guys. Traps first, mate.
Traps first. I'll sort it out.
Cool. Look how beautiful this mat is. It's so nice. Let's explain to you quickly why we don't have them in. Now, Shadow Imp's a very, very good card, but
they hurt the deck that you'll be playing. A lot
deck-
more than it helps them.
Yeah, the deck I'll be playing will hurt a lot more than it can help. But these are honorable mentions anyway. Maxi, if you're not running 2 in main board right now, you probably should be. If not 3, and that's an honorable mention as a 3rd. But for me, not now. Breakthrough skill, honorable mention because it's very good against rogue decks, but against the meta.
But against the meta, yes, it's a bit slow.
Useless against Cliff Forts.
Yeah.
Burning Abyss is next to useless against.
I mean, like, the only thing breakthrough skill is useful against in Cliff Forts would be to stop a disc summon, and that's about it.
And then almost useless against Shadows, especially Denko Dolls, minus when you banish it from the grave and negate Denko's effect that turn, but then,
or like Winder, but even then...
Winder, but even then, yeah. Or on summon.
Even then, you've got to have it in the grave first for that to happen.
Yeah, or on summon of Construct or flip summon of Little Birdie.
Falco.
Like, it's very good against
it's good, but
tier
it's
2
not...
less, but the tier 1 doesn't stand up. D-Fish?
D-Fish, honorable mention.
Honorable mention. It's on the same level as Different Dimension Ground, whereas it just banishes monsters that would be sent to the grave.
Only problem is having it up all the time and during your turn hurts the deck you'll be playing a bit more than just running Different Dimension Ground.
Like, your opponent can get around it. They either go, oh, look, MST. If MST a blind Different Dimension Ground, you can go chain it. If you have D-Fish right up, they go, oh, we know what you got already. Dark Hole, all your monsters are banished, and then MST. It's more of a double-edged sword than Different Dimension Ground. It lasts longer and is good, but you only really need the 1 or 2 turns. And unfortunately, if it sits up on your turn too long, you can lose out. Royal Command, again, very good card against Shadows, but non-fusion area takes the
cake because it has 2 uses, Dark Law and Shadows. Yes.
Yeah.
And like we're classifying Dark Law as pretty much its own card, not so much heroes, because Shadows can play Mask Change and play Dark Law.
Also, Shadows, like, as much as you can ram into one of their monsters, like their effects, if you can stop their L Shadow Fusion or Shadow Fusion with non-fusion area, they're not going to be able to stack their grave as much, which helps you a lot more when it comes to BLS and DAD, which sometimes can
cards that will just get rid of it anyway.
For some decks, they're more problem than the rest of the cards. Curse Seal, Forbidden Spell. If it was discard any card, it'd be fine, but it's discard a spell, so that's a little bit annoying when you draw into it and you can't discard anything. The other problem with Curse of the Seal, Forbidden Spell is, although it'll stop your opponent entirely from trying to use Shadow Fusion or L Shadow Fusion, it also, I've already said the risks that are required, because you have to have a spell in hand, it'll stop L Shadow Fusion or Shadow Fusion, like, for the rest of the game, but it's more used against Cliff Forts. Now, if you use it when they play a Pendulum monster in the Pendulum Zone, it'll stop them from playing that monster in the Pendulum Zone for the rest of the game, but not
as a monster.
And it will send it to the grave. Yeah, it'll actually go to the grave because it was never hit. But they won't stop you then from using it as a monster from the extra deck or from the hand or anything. So yeah, that's why I went for Twisters and stuff instead. Shadow Imp. Very good against Shadows, very good against Burning Abyss, but
it hurts the deck you're playing a bit more than it would help you if you brought it out.
Yeah. The deck I'm using, it'll hurt too much. However, it's usable again with decks that don't get hurt by it, and it's probably one of the better options to run if you could.
So if you're playing something rogue like Satalas, run Shadow Imp. Doesn't hurt your deck, hurts 2 decks. Why not?
But
also you can bounce it with Trabert.
But that's also why DD Ground's in, because that can hurt my opponent more and stop them from getting half their effects, as opposed to trying to negate it.
Yeah.
And plus, that gets MST, you know. And System Down, the last one, won't work against Cliff Forts in the Pendulum Zone, only works against their monsters, but...
The way to hit them is to hit their Pendulum Zones.
Yeah.
Because you can hit their monsters and they'll just bring them back. You want to be able to get rid of their zones and deal with their monsters in another way, usually by battle, or by banishing, bouncing or spinning. or whatever way your deck of choice has of dealing with them. Best way to deal with Clifford's though is to hit their pendulum zones.
Yeah, don't let them get their monsters out, as opposed to punishing them once they do. Like, that's the best way to beat a lot of decks. Now, the last thing to do is to give a shout out to Monika Jean, aka Yugi Momo, which I'll link in the channel down below, and I'll link to her Facebook page. She does some absolutely amazing hand-drawn arts. This camera and the lighting does not do this
matte justice.
This is
no, you
absolutely
took a picture
amazing.
and you sent it to me, and I thought it was amazing just from the photo, and then I saw it in person, and it's just
like this in
there's
person.
so much more detail to this matte in person. There's so much more vibrant colors in person, and just like the quality of the I wouldn't even say materials used, just the amount of time and care put into making.
Yeah,
this.
like all these lines are hand drawn. This is absolutely a masterpiece work of art that she's done here. Like seriously, the camera is not doing justice of how amazing this is. Every line, yeah, I'm zooming in and out just to try to get a closer look. Every little line, every little bit of detail. This is all water paint, I believe, or watercolor paint. You know, every little bit's hand drawn by this girl. She's done an absolutely amazing job on this. This Yazi is an incredibly hard card to draw. Like, it's not. There's nothing simple about it. Like, look at the textures everywhere.
Detail.
Look at the detail. Look how well she's done. Even the face. Like, this incredible work here.
There's also stars on the card.
Yeah.
And they're included. It just looks amazing. And the attention to detail is quite high.
So she does absolutely amazing work, guys. Now this is probably one of the more detailed, more worked mats. A mat like this will probably set you back about $250 plus postage. Postage to the UK is, I still got a deal. Dragon Arthur here has got you a deal. Postage to UK is $16, I believe, and America is $20. Postage to Australia, I think, is a lot less. It might be like $5 or something. But Dragon Arthur here has a deal. Quote my channel, and you'll get 10% off your order. She does more simplified mats as well. You'll have to talk to her about it, however. Probably about $150. Unfortunately, I wanted to show you guys the Lady of the Lake mat that another one of my subscribers got. Max, I believe his name was. Absolutely beautiful mat as well. I couldn't get my hands on it for this video. I'm sorry about that. But I will link it down below and you guys can look at it. Maybe the link will go right here in between Yazi and Bax here. Like maybe right there. Yeah, it looks good.
Stop fingering the camera.
Her work is absolutely amazing.
And if you're looking for a custom mat, like
some
of the best I've seen.
Like my Judge mat goes for $200. My Mobius mat, if I can get it out. And let's be honest, you compare that to this Mobius mat, just because it says Judge in it, just because there's not as many.
Judge.
You compare that to this in person, that's a lot more amazing to look at.
Outside of
like I said,
Judge.
the lighting is not doing it justice, and this is unique. This is one of a kind. She'll take orders, big, small. Like you want just one small one in the middle, that's okay, or a really really good masterpiece like this, she'll do that as well. Hit her up. I'll link the Facebook channel. You know, go have a look at her other work, and don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the future. After regionals.
After regionals.
Hopefully do well. We'll let you know.